Right, so we're going to keep using our calculator to solve systems of equations using the matrices. But today, we're going to have a few where you have to write the system of equations. So this first question is about the Heisman vote. So example 1 says that the Heisman voters cast a vote for first, second, and third place for the Heisman Trophy. Each type of vote earns a certain number of points. During the 2016 season, Lamar Jackson earned 526 first, 251 second, and 64 third place votes. Deshaun Watson earned 269 first, 302 second, 113 third, earning a total of 1524. And Baker Mayfield earned 26 first, 72 second, and 139 third place votes, earning a total of 361 points. We're going to determine the number of points a first, second, and third place vote earns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have X be the points for first, Y the points for second, and Z the points for third place. So I'm just going to start off with Lamar Jackson, and he got 526 first place votes, so that's going to be 526X. Okay. He got 251 second, so then we would say plus 251 second is going to be Y. And 64 third, so that's going to be 64Z. And that should equal the total number of points that Lamar Jackson earned. Okay, then we'll write an equation for Deshaun Watson. So 269X plus 302Y 113Z equals his total number of points. And then finally, Baker Mayfield, 26X plus 72Y plus 139Z equals 361 points. So that is our system of equations. So make sure that you've written that down correctly. Okay. You can pause the video if you need to, if someone is still writing it down. We're going to go to the calculator steps and we're going to solve it just like what we did yesterday. So when we're solving systems of equations using matrices, the first thing we do is get the RREF. So click those buttons to get RREF. All right, then we're going to set up the matrix. Now this one is a bigger one. There's 3 rows and 4 columns. So click those buttons to set up the matrix. And you can look at your own sheet of paper also. You should have this on your sheet of paper. All right, then we're going to put in the numbers for our system of equations. I just put in these numbers. I didn't write down any of the x's, y's, or z's. I just put in the numbers in the order they appear. And after we're done with that, you're going to hit enter. Okay, so that means that this gives you x, y, z. So x was the points for first place vote, y was the points for second place vote, and z was the number of points for third place vote. So you would want to write your answer out somehow. So it was 3 points for first place, 2 for second, and 1 for third. So I'm going to have you guys do 1 and 2 on your own. I'm going to get you started on 1. So we have 3 people, Jesse, Maria, and Charles, that are going to a local craft store to purchase supplies for the upcoming dance decorations. All right, what they're purchasing is craft paper, markers, and glue sticks. So what I'm going to say is that X is the paper price, Y is the markers price, and Z is the glue sticks price. All right, so I'm going to write the equation for Jesse, and I'll let you do Maria Charles equation and then figure out the cost of each item. Now, these costs can be decimal, so the costs are going to kind of look like money. Same thing on number 2, it's going to be like money. So if you get like 0.5, that means 50 cents. Okay, so Jesse purchased 3 sheets of craft paper. Now the paper was X, so it's going to be 3X plus 4 boxes of markers, so that's 4Y, plus 5 glue sticks, so that's 5Z, and he spent $24.40. All right, so that was just Jesse. So you guys are going to write an equation for Maria, and you're going to write an equation for Charles, and then you're going to solve it. So just go ahead and do that right now. All right, so check what you wrote with what I wrote. And then we're going to solve it. So you guys go ahead and solve it. Follow your steps. Okay, so this is okay because this looks like money. It's fine. So what that means, because we already wrote down what everything was, the X was $1.75. So that means the paper cost $1.75. Right? The Y was 3.6. So that means the markers cost $3.60. And then the Z is the glue sticks. It was, I think, 0.95. Yes. So that was 95 cents for a glue stick. Okay, so I'm going to have you do the number 2 all on your own. It's already pretty much set up in a matrix, so I think you're going to be fine with that one. And I want to remind you about how to solve equations by graphing. So that sheet that you should have this sheet with calculator steps. There's 2 main things we've done with calculators: solve equations by graphing and solve systems of equations using matrices. So when we're solving by graphing, that's going to be a situation where you only have one equation and you only have probably x. It might be a different variable, but most likely it'll be x. Right? And then the systems of equations with matrices, you're going to have 2 or 3 equations with x, y, and maybe z. Right? So they look very, very different. So you need to know when to use which one. So when we start doing 3 through 7, we're solving an equation by graphing. It's one equation that only has x. So those are the steps that we're going to solve. So this is what we're going to do. So we're going to, for step 1, enter each equation in, each side of the equation in. So one side we're going to put in for y1, and the other side we're going to put in for y2. Right? And then I also put on there how you find absolute value. So you should have this in front of you. You don't have to look at it on the TV. You can look at it at your own paper. So absolute value is alpha window and then choose number 1. Okay, so for number 3, this is my equation I'm going to solve. So to put this in to y1 and y2, first, we're going to hit y equals, like it says to on there. There's something in your y equals, just hit clear it out. And for y1, I'm going to put in the absolute value of x plus 2. So absolute value, if you look at your paper, is alpha window 1. All right, so that's our y1. For y2, we're going to put in the other side of the equation, which is x plus 6. Okay. So that's step 1. Step 2, we're going to graph it. So it's possible you can just hit graph and see what you need to see. If you get something weird, then you can always hit zoom 6 and it should give you a pretty good graph. Let's see what happens if I just hit graph. Okay, we're good. Right, this one only has one place where they intersect, and that's fine. It's right here. They intersect right here. So now we're ready to find that intersection point, and you can look at your own paper, so the TV if you need to. But to find that intersection point, remember it's second trace 5. Second trace 5. All right. So we get this little flashing cursor, and if you look at your sheet, it tells you to move that little flashing thing close to where the graphs intersect, hitting the left or right arrows. Right. And then we're going to hit enter 3 times. All right. And then it tells you on the sheet that you use only the x part of the intersection. So the answer to this equation is x equals -4. Okay. So if you forget steps, just look at that other sheet. It tells you what to do for all of 3 through 7, and it tells you everything to do for all of 8 through 12. Okay. So this is your assignment for the day. When you get finished, turn it in and sit quietly until it's time to go. You can. I'm fine if you all look at your phones after you're done. Um, but if you get too rambunctious, I'm going to have to substitute, give you something else to do. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you for being awesome for the sub. I'll see you on Monday.